seduction, sex, lifestyle. For the true player at heart, Global SLR presents the real kings of pickup. Vince Hollywood Kelvin and Arash motherfucking Dibazar. Be the best and fuck the rest.
Welcome everyone. Thanks to those who are joining us live, especially those who call week after week. And if you're listening afterwards, you're welcome to also call live. This is Vince Hollywood Kelvin, also known as Aphrodite's Prince, and I'm here with my spiritual brother, the greatest seducer on the planet, Arash motherfucking Dibazar, and we're here to help you guys with the real kings of pickup. And if you don't know that yet, you'll catch on to it very fast. So much is happening. Super psyched, as always. We raised the bar on an hourly basis, if not more. I've had a spectacular afternoon session with Frank White, crystal, angel, clearing session, chakra session. It was amazing. I'm working on it nonstop, new women. It's amazing. Arash, my brother, how are you?
I'm focused. I'm sharp. I'm ready to go. I'm strong. And I can change lives in one answer. So, how are you doing, brother?
Well, I just discovered the wonderful flavor of Asian girls. And I've had some, but I think it's a very good match for me. So
wow.
Yeah.
How was that? You like that?
Very much. Very much. Anyway, who knows? We'll see. That's for the time being. For now, let's really help you guys. You do your part. You step it up from the get-go. We're ready to take questions. It's going to go by fast. And you say your name or code name, whichever turns you on. City you're calling from, just in case there's other callers on the line and you can start to connect and wing or realize you're not the only one in your city. And then your question. So, who would like to go first?
Hey, Paul from San Francisco. I'll go first. And a question about frames.
Always good to have you on the line. What would you like?
Thank you. A subject that keeps coming up quite often is frames, and also from other people we've taught. I think even in business, one guy mentioned how he uses frames to be able to kind of, I don't want to say run game, but market himself better. And yet, also in recordings through frames, and I've even used the word a lot myself, but I don't really think I fundamentally understand what a frame is and how it works. Like, is it kind of just a mode of thinking, a reality? If you could maybe explain or go into the fundamentals of frames.
It's interesting, Paul, is using the word fundamental. And to me, first things first, foundational frames. It's the foundation of the filtering of your thinking. If we study this further, not right now, there's different elements to frame, such as the direction. For example, back or forward. A person could decide he's going to talk to women, and some feelings come up, and he's not sure what the feelings mean. And he's framing it as, I wanted to talk to her, but something was holding me back. So the direction of the frame is presupposing that there's a block in front that's holding the person back. Another way to frame it would be forward. Yeah, it's interesting because before I express myself more freely, almost like going through the woods before reaching the promised land, the castle, I go through a few unique feelings. So notice, one frame is more liberating because it's forward, while the other one is more limiting. So there's several, not that many, the same way you learn simple new things with computers, since I know it's your specialty. It might be well worth it if you want to really master frames, to once dedicate the time, an hour, you and I, or to one of our events, and to expose yourself to the different ingredients that I think you'll do very well with it. So it's simply how you're filtering a situation. Are there any restrictions? Are there any limitations? And to keep it simple, even if you don't know much about the structure of frames, one intelligent thing to do, guys, for everybody, when you assess a situation, be it game or business, voice it as you would normally. Don't try to change it initially, whatever comes out. And then pause and gain a little perspective and go, that's an interesting way to look at it. And then ask yourself, what other ways to look at it would there be? For example, many guys, they think that anxiety comes up, and personally, I frame it as it's a passing memory of what I got acquainted with in the past. So something new reveals itself. Then the next question would be, what would be the highest possible way to think of it that would really open doors and make this much easier for me? It's important to remain accurate. For that, there's linguistic tricks, that I could also teach you. But I think for now, I will pass it to Arash. I'm excited to hear what he has to say about that, because he's the master of language.
Just the question is what are frames? Is that what you're asking? You want a better understanding of it?
Yes, because, I've kind of heard the word frame, like that's a bad frame used, and that's probably kind of like a bad mode.
Do you have a definition?
Like an example?
No, if you were going to define to me the word frame, it was going to be like an English test. And the question was, okay, what is the definition of frame? What would you say? You don't have to know. I just want to know if you know.
Oh, okay. Well, what I would say before Vince answered the question was that a frame is kind of like a way of looking at things, or a type of mini reality, or something surrounding a situation. That's why it would be called a frame. I think that's the best way I could have described it.
The answer, what would you say?
I actually still am thinking about his answer. I'd say it's probably a way. The goal of a frame, anyway, would be the best way to process and move forward on a situation. Though that's not exactly what he said.
So I have a definition that's very easy. And it's the same definition for frame and context. And these things are very confused by everybody. And they're not confused by me. And so I'm going to give you the exact definition. And if you took a test and you wrote this definition, it would be the right definition. And the frame is the meaning you give it. That's the frame. Okay, so if I had you take a look at a picture and I said, look at this picture, what's happening in this picture? And you explain to me what you thought was happening, that would be the frame around the picture that you would give me. And the context of something is the meaning behind something. So the frame or the context is the meaning that you give it. All right? Now, when you say frame, you're referring to the frame of mind. And context is in relation to other things. What does this mean? So if I give you the context of why I say fuck you on my eyelid, you wouldn't think that I'm some criminal who wrote fuck you on his eyes because he was in jail. That's not the context. That's not how it's related to my life and who I am. That's the context. You want the context of my fuck you eyes. And if I said to you, let me explain the frame that the fuck you came from, it would be, let me give you the meaning of why the fuck you was written on my eyes. And once you understood my frame of mind, then you would understand it. And that's as simple as it is.
Oh, okay, thanks. So it's pretty easy to confuse context and meaning, I imagine.
Context and meaning are the same thing. They're the meaning behind it. These are synonyms, okay? It's like saying, you know what a synonym is? A word that describes, it's very similar to another word. It can be interchanged. So just remember, it's the meaning you give something is the frame and the context of it. And those words are very important in life if you're dealing with stuff. Because when you're talking to people, you are either imposing your frame on them or they're imposing their frame on you in a conversation, right? So, like right now, we're talking, right? And I'm explaining to you what frame is, so you could say in another term, I'm imposing my frame on this definition. And let's say another guy comes on and says, no, that's not what frame is. Frame is A, B, C, D. That means he's giving it another meaning, another name, another definition. And whichever one you would choose would be the frame you would choose or the context that you would learn the word in. So that's all it is.
Okay, great. Thanks a lot. That makes sense.
You're welcome.
Brilliant. And now, what's the decision you make about the answer you have received? Because you're creating a frame. So if you go like, it's kind of complicated, or, oh, wow, I better start to work on that. That's a frame. And then ask yourself, am I limiting with this meaning, keeping it neutral, or am I making it easier for me? Meanwhile, we're ready for the next question. We got less than 30 minutes left, so it's the time to step it up, gentlemen, and wake up. Who's next?
Yeah, hey, this is Chris from Florida, and
Hi, Chris.
It's on the it's on the same frequency of what Paul was just talking about. So looking for a different meaning to give when I am practicing pickup. Sometimes I come across situations where I don't feel yet maybe entirely comfortable, like I don't have maybe the attraction or a very plausible reason to talk to a person, yet I just want to practice. Like that's my reason. My meaning is I want to practice, but it's involving this like other person and taking them out of their reality just so that I can practice talking, I guess. So I'm looking for a bigger, a better, a higher meaning for interacting with people that maybe normally wouldn't really evoke that deep desire, like I want to interact with this person. I just want to practice, but, you know, sometimes I feel that it's not enough. So I want more. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense, Chris, and it's super easy as well, and that's for everybody. Yeah, identify, ask yourself, what frame is supporting that reality, your current reality? What meaning is supporting that? What core presuppositions? When you're saying maybe they don't want to experience that, how do you know? Are you inside their mind and their bodies?
No, I'm not.
So it's a frame in which you presuppose a couple things. Watch for those deadly presuppositions, gentlemen. The addiction to think that it should be comfortable and that there shouldn't be anything else than just, oh, I'm super at ease. I am not always super at ease, you know, but my frame recognizes that it's not abnormal. Be careful, because anytime we start to think that something is abnormal, we are fast at taking it personal. And then we think that there's something wrong with us. So the frames keep on being more and more infected. Then it's like a total virus of the mind. So what would be a more supportive frame? I don't have to be comfortable in any special way. And I don't know where people are at, and I'm willing to surprise them and to let myself be surprised. And then what you got to tap into is higher frames. Frames that are surreal, supernatural, out of this world. Because whenever you put everything back into the context of this is today, I'm this person, I live in this city, this is what's going on with the world is a fragment of the universe. We're spiritual beings having a human experience. So in that context, everything tends to become again like kindergarten or high school or like the little clique, and all those rules apply, and you're bound by all those rules that are not real, because the key question is, says whom? It's basic linguistics. Whenever, sometimes you talk with people and you have another goal than correcting them. But when people start to throw things at you, you know what it's like when you talk to a girl and she gives you an attitude and you get pissed? You go, no, I don't. It says whom? Okay? Who decided that that's what it means? And same thing with you. Ask yourself, says whom? Who decided that? And it's not you. And here's the problem with language. Every day we use technology that's updated all the time. The way we communicate at the level of technology is very recent.
Yeah.
But the words we're using are super old. What else was going on in the world, and what was the frame of the world when people came up with words like anxiety and those kind of things? So you need to reinvent your perception, your language, and ask yourself in the highest of all realities. And now it's not a question maybe that you will come up with an answer right away. Keep on asking. Your mind will go into a search and present you with the necessary realization. And keep on reminding yourself that you're free and everything is a fucking illusion and delusion around you. And anytime that you go, people are like this, it's like that, it's not like this, it's not like that, unless it serves you and it feels really good on the inside and it opens your mind and new realities. You know, when we listen to Arash, I hear Arash, my reality is suddenly opening up. But when you listen to yourself and you feel like, oh man, what should I do? It's probably that first thing you need to do is engage into thinking that juices you a lot more. All right, Chris?
Hell yeah. Thank you.
And trace it back. Last thing, then I pass it to Arash. When you make a statement, listen to yourself in a non-judgmental manner. Because it's very interesting. The way you started. Practice pickup. Practice. It's an interest concept. Now, you have to practice. Yeah, I mean, you have to attend it often as you can with all that you have. What's a better word than practice, than devotion? When I devote myself to my higher purpose of pickup.
Yeah.
And I allow the flow of unique human contact and interaction to orgasmically dance. And I'm using those words because you're a yogi and for you it's not like, what the fuck are you talking about? I heard you telling me like, Rush. All right, good job. Awesome, Chris.
Yeah, I don't know if I have anything more to say on that. I mean, I could say a bunch of stuff, but I think we should move on to the next question. That would just be too much.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, let's do that. So next question, you start, Rush, for the next one.
Okay.
It's Mitch from Baltimore. Howie.
We got Mitch for Rush. Go for it.
Okay, question. I become successful at something, whether it be work, whether it be pickup. For example, I generated a lot of success last week, worked my ass off. Then I go back to being lazy and comfortable like I did today. How do I overcome that when I see that happening? What steps do I take? Because right now where I'm at, it takes me time to really get out of it and see it and act upon it. What could I do to make that, to eliminate that cycle and just get better and better and better?
Okay, well, for myself, this is a big thing in my life. Okay, I deal with this every day. And I tell you what I do, and I'll tell you what Manu, my old teacher, told me, and then I'll pass it on quickly. What I do, because I'm afraid of that, Mitch. That happening scares me. It's like if I was walking in the zoo, and then they told me there's a lion that escaped the zoo, and I had just left that enclosure. I'm fucking scared. I need to get the fuck out of there because I don't want to run into a goddamn lion like that because my chances of survival are not very high if that lion sees me. I feel like that when it comes to my success and slowing down. I'm scared of it. However, my fear doesn't make me freeze. It makes me run fast, hard. I don't want to be there. And sometimes I slow down, but I'm constantly timing myself. So I'll give you an example. I caught myself slow down today, but I'll tell you when I caught it. In my morning shower. I shower every morning. That's one of my routines. All right, I get up, I shave, and I shower. That's 100% what I do every day. And when I was in the shower, I realized I was moving slower. So I haven't even got out of the shower yet to put on my clothes to even have breakfast yet. And so I knew at that moment I had to handle it. So what I did was I turned the water freezing cold, which is part of my morning ritual. And when the water turned really cold, I decided I was going to stay there a little bit longer this time. Consequences. Pick it up. And by the time I got out of the shower, I was faster. Then, around 5:45 or 6 p.m., I felt slower today. And then I drove to my jiu-jitsu instructor's academy. I haven't seen him for a while, Batata. And I walked in, and we started talking about the stuff we talk about, which is just tough guy stuff. And I felt fast before I came here. And all through the day, I'm checking my temperature, you could say. And I got to keep it at a certain level. Because if I don't, I'm afraid, like that lion escaping the zoo. I cannot afford that. I won't. I don't want to be a loser again. I don't want to be a nobody in my life again. I've been a nobody. I've been a loser. I know what it's like to not have anyone listen to you. I know what it's like to not have any women. I know what it's like to not have any power, not to have any money. I've been that fucking guy. That's why I can teach people, because I worked my way out of it. So I'm afraid of that. And that fear is enough to get me going. Now, Manu, my old teacher, would say, you have to raise the stakes. The motivation has to be there. He's talking about acting. He was an acting coach. He said, when you watch actors, I don't believe that somebody just got shot in their family or in their squad if they're FBI agent or something. I don't believe that they're just breaking through the door and they don't know what's going to be on the other side. He goes, the motivation is not there. I can't feel it, right? And so I think that's related to what I'm saying, is that you got to somehow, because I don't have a teacher right now yelling in my head to stay in the shower longer, to move faster. I have nobody telling me. This is where self-discipline comes in. However, I have in my mind all the time enemies. That's why my posts are the way they are. That's why I talk the way I talk. It's because as long as I keep alive the idea that there's other people in the world who want me not to succeed and who want to take from me the things that I work so hard for, that gives me enough motivation to stay alert. And I'm going to do that till I die. That's my answer.
Okay. So, real quick, Mitchell.
Yes.
First, let's ask any of the guys on the line. I bet you everybody can say they're doing the same thing initially. So you got to recognize, as I said before, gentlemen, when you assess that something needs to change, know that it's not practical. It's not logically going to lead you to the success you want unless you change it. But it's certainly not abnormal. Every day, some people listen to the radio. I bombard my mind all day long, and I blast it as loud as I can while I'm working. Even when I'm in field, I listen to it in my ears. Those motivational videos, blend of like Muhammad Ali and all those athletes and actors and so on. And basically, they all state the same thing. Those tendencies that we have to want success, we get better and we get complacent. So it's not that they are born and they're fucking machines from the day they were babies. So first, it's normal. Second, you rapidly resolve. If you want to make a shitload of progress, everybody, you need to divorce permanently from the poor habit of the masses to over-identify what is a problem and take ownership of it and start to advertise it for days and weeks and months at a time. My problem is. You got to be as fast as somebody who's fighting for survival. They have a rifle. Boom, a predator is next to them. They're not going to go, I think there's a wild animal that's about to attack me. See, my problem is I always have white eyes. No, turn around, boom, they're going to shoot. So when you detect the first sign of like, oh, looks like I could be complacent again. No more, boom. Then after that, you need to anticipate, and then you remedy. And one thing that's basic, it's all like basic self-help. Schedule it. So me, I keep my edge because I anticipate. I know it's normal. I resolve that I'm going to change it. And I detect it in advance and then I schedule it. See, for example, last week, I had 3 girls. And then a couple new ones into play. And I'm receiving higher guidance that I got to aim like the highest ever. So those new girls are very interesting. So, of course, I'm no longer like, man, I need new girls for a split second. But today, I go back to the drawing board, and in prediction, I made some notes. Same thing with business, with anything you want to create. You need reminders. And we're so lucky in this day and age because you can set up appointments in your phone, and it can be just a reminder. Remember to escalate in every interaction, and you have it pop up at a certain time with a sound. That's how fortunate we are. Okay? So that's how you got to do it. It's not abnormal. What's abnormal is to sit on it, because you wouldn't sit in a pile of shit forever. So you got to get up, correct it, schedule it is an important part of it, and knowing that you're going to forget. Here it is. Remember that you're most likely to forget. I say it again. Remember that you're most likely to forget. And if you remember that you're most likely to forget, then you'll give yourself reminders. And that's how you correct it. Next question, and we swap the order around. We're going to pass it to Arash this time. So, looking at the time, we got 14 minutes. So, hurry.
I got a question. This is Will from Philly. Last weekend, I was in another town. I met a girl there. On Friday night, we hooked up both nights, had sex Saturday, and I saw her last night, and the vibe was just off. And I didn't say anything, but she sort of ended it with me. And I'm wondering if you can give any advice on how to end something when you realize that it's just not there.
I for some reason missed the middle of that. Okay, so you said you had some girl, something, and then I got the end of it. What happened? She ended it with you?
Yeah, last weekend we hooked up both nights. We had sex Saturday night. So I thought things were going well. I liked her, but then I drove to see her yesterday, and the vibe was just off. And I didn't really address that. And then right before I left, she sort of ended things with me. So I'm wondering how to end it when you sense the vibe's just off.
Okay, very easy. When she ended it with you, did she sound remorseful? Did she sound like she cared about your feelings or no?
No.
Okay, why the fuck would you care about someone who displays clearly that they don't give a shit about you? And that's what you have to understand about women. And one day you'll get it, guys. That's how they are. How you end it is very, very much like them. They don't give a fuck about you when the time comes to stab you. They are gutless, honorless, just complete disgusted by them when it comes to that. They have no remorse for throwing away 6-year relationship, 7-year relationship, 10-year relationship, 12-year relationship, children in the way, doesn't matter. When you have enough of those experiences, the best way to end it is to end it the way they end it. That is the language they understand. Anything else you do, they don't understand it. I'm telling you guys right now, you're going to have to learn to be a fucking samurai when it comes to this shit, okay? They don't give a shit. I already knew the answer before I said, did she have any remorse? Did she seem like she cared about your feelings? She didn't. She didn't. And there you are wondering how you can do it in a way to save her feelings. Fuck her. Fuck her. Okay? Don't give somebody what they're not willing to give back to you. Just don't, man. Don't. This is just a man-to-man talk from me to every man listening to me, to the entire world listening to me as a man. And to the women. They know how I feel about it. I have no problem telling them that. They know this to be true. They have no remorse, thus don't have any remorse for them. Treat people the way they treat you, not any way around. Don't ever sit there and wonder how to save some whore's feelings when she would not fucking think twice than to crush you and your life. Have enough girlfriends, be with enough women, and you'll see that that's one thing they all share in common, no matter how much they loved you. That's my answer. I'll pass it on.
I fucking love it, and I really thank Arash, because prior to meeting him, I was unaware of that, you know? And recommendation for you guys. You take a lot of the answers that you get from women, or what you think is happening initially, or your diagnosis of your condition, too seriously. You take it like it's written in stone, when in fact you can change all those things very rapidly. But the place where you could really write those things in stone, engrain them in your consciousness, tattoo them, is when it comes to priceless, supreme advice, like what you just heard from Arash. There are certain things you cannot afford to have to hear them 100 times before you go, yeah, maybe that was right. Okay? So, here's on my side a couple things that you want to operate by those. And it goes beyond direct, indirect. I like those kinds of women. I like those kinds of women. It's just a code of conduct to really thrive with game. First, watch everybody at all levels, that tendency to think, it went good, I thought I liked her. First, it's too early, it's too needy, because when you're with a woman and you're having a good time, what matters is that you recognize who's having a good time. You are. So recognize that. It juices you. Her, you don't know her. It's not enough to assess how good a person is with just one exposure. Okay? And you got to know also, even if there is something, it will be more solid if you refrain from giving in too soon. You know, in business, nobody will be, oh man, I want to do business with you. I want to do business with you. Wow. They'd be at the mercy of the other person. So no more. Cut it off today. When you're hearing this, no more of that, oh, it was going good. That's delusional. It just was, and the part that was good was whatever you were feeling and whatever you allowed yourself to experience. So focus on that. I like her. Yeah, she's all right. What I like is me. You know, in that moment. Now, next part is if the vibe is not flowing, then do something about it. Don't stay in it. And make it be more of a workout. You know, if the guy, time after time, that's beautiful women, is very happy with it, suddenly one gets weird, it's like, all right, sir, I don't have the time. But too often, newbies, the moment something happens, they also want out of it. They don't want to approach, and they don't want to be with someone. So right there, I would time it. I would say, okay, I'm going to give it 3 hours to kind of change that vibe. After that, boom, I move on. So you change the vibe. You watch also. You need to educate women when they come in. That's for all human beings. We all have a reference of what we think a relationship should be. And one of the first things that happens when you venture into the new, the old comes to the surface to be released. So very often you meet new women and their old stuff comes up, and you gotta help them understand by understanding it yourself that they're fucking hallucinating. And probably you too. And keep it more simple. Now, when you get to that place of moving on, here's your best bet. Okay? Don't worry about her. Focus on getting new girls. And fucking top it. Have the balls to top it. Whatever you thought was great about her, that you liked about her, go for something even better. It's a girl that told me that not too long ago. She said, you never go for less. You only go for more. Every new girl's got to be better. This old chick, she was all drunk, and she was like lecturing me. She was like, and even when I see you with 25-year-olds, Vince, they're too old for you. You need 18, 19, and 20.
The new year is right around the corner. We know you want better and more at all levels. But let's face it, the odds are not in your favor. And let's be honest, unless you remedy with all you got, it would probably be the same old shit, different year. So time to truly change. As seen on CNN, This Is Life with Lisa Ling, The Seduction Game, also featured on Sky TV with comedian Carl Kierperson, The Moaning of Life. The most potent, popular, and best priced 7-day training on the planet. The Initiation. Total manhood makeover for total social and personal success. Las Vegas. January 16th to 22nd, 2017. Led by true legend, #1 pickup artist on the planet, Vince Hollywood Kelvin, and revolutionary philosopher and best seducer in the world, Arash Dibazar, and the best healers on the planet, such as shaman James Hyman and occult expert Frank White. Imagine 3 days in the depth of Nevada's desert, Alpha Camp, to strengthen your survival skills, tap into your true warrior nature, and arise spiritually to harness powers you didn't even know you had. With board breaking, firewalking, chakra clearing, NLP, hypnosis for total success programming, and the most hardcore step-by-step military-style training to masterfully and flawlessly attract and bed the women you always desired. Then relocation for the following 4 days to the city that never sleeps, where everything goes. Las Vegas, Nevada, for around-the-clock pickup from nightclubs to malls, streets, casinos, including a visit to an adult convention. Expect only the very best results, not only with women, but in all areas of your life. Fuck excuses. It's your life, and the clock is ticking. Accepting applications and registration now by going to www.vegasinitiation.com or call our 24/7 hotline 1-323-309-3219. But hurry, we work with a sliding scale, and rates are subject to increase. So stop sitting on your ass before you're drawn into the abyss of excuses and regrets. Act now. Women and your new life are ready for you. Vegas, baby, Vegas. See you in Sin City for the real success you have been craving your whole life.
So, looking at the time, gentlemen, there is so much going on. First, we have the most intimate event ever. The GSLR so inspired us. What was very unique this year, more than ever before, was the significance of the progress the participants made. You guys, you moved us. Two of the reasons for that. The two reasons are this. Number one, because you guys came the distance and you had to work at getting there, then you make it more significant, so you're ready to intake more. Second, we surpass anything that had been done before in terms of the teaching format. You know, the fact that we were in field, we would relocate, another location, lecture mode, workshop, trance, and so on, got everybody just like to make so much progress. If you were there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay? And both Arash and myself and even the other coaches, everybody said, wow, the students, we have pictures of guys making out during the pink party and so on. Now, we always stop it, Arash and I. You guys know that. So this time we said, okay, we keep the 5 guys that were most impactful at the level of teaching, impacting, coaching, helping, healing. Arash, myself, Frank White. Everybody's raving about Frank, and rightfully so. The pimp, Kevin. I know you guys love him too. And my peculiar friend, the shaman, James Hyman, which is a lot older than we know it. And the guy has gone through a journey. I mean, he was in the Amazon doing trance work and so on. He's got that unique way to ground and center you. You guys who worked with him, you know it. The 5 of us, and we want it to be very intimate. So it's in a mansion, a legendary location. Mansion setting, 5 of us, Friday evening, Saturday all day, Sunday. As always, 2 levels of registration. You got the regular one, which includes all the lectures and workshops, and then some VIP, which includes very unique healing sessions and so on. Now, we're down to just a few to be there in person. And you got 2 weeks to make that happen, and Frank is coming all the way from Germany for the 3rd time. So that is to teach going the distance. Arash again is going to go the long drive all the way from San Jose. Kevin is flying from the East Coast. Okay? We're going all the way. In person, this event is so exclusive that you need to contact Arash or myself or Frank ASAP, and we'll give you the details. Now, we announce it now. We decided there's going to be a live stream as well. Okay? There's going to be a live stream. Now, we're going to take the first 2 live stream at the end of this call, only for those who are calling live, and you have until 8 p.m. to contact me or Arash to register for the live stream. 2 guys, first 2. After that, you'll hear about it online, but it's going to be more. Okay? Meanwhile, the other thing that's happening, we also, tomorrow night, going to have a video conference, you know. There will be a link provided. Arash, what time did we say? 6:30? Am I correct, or 7:30?
7 o'clock. Actually, still 6:30.
7 o'clock, same time. 7 o'clock. Okay? So be on it. It's going to be Arash and myself and Frank. And then everybody's raving about Diamond Mine, you know. I'm going to talk to Arash tonight. I'm going to say I want to be on Diamond Mine myself because everybody's telling me about it. Okay, so you guys, you make that happen. And I'm sure everybody's on it already. And then I just started, thanks to Arash, the Aphrodite's Prince, and it was our first week. You get the recording. We got a chat room also on a daily basis with very unique footage and so on. So you go to seductiveinstinct.com to inquire about both of those programs, as well as Frank's program and Brian Castella. And you find that at seductiveinstinct.com. This is for what's happening. There's a lot more initiations around the corner also. The show that was on CNN, January, Vegas. But anyway, one thing at a time. For now, we take one final question, and then we're going to say goodbye for tonight. And we give a fast answer. I got to run. So who's taking the very last question ever in case we change our mind and we don't do a call next week, which is not going to happen. We will be on. But last question.
I have a question.
So, yeah.
Shane?
How are you, man?
I'm good. Thank you.
Good. What's your question?
Are there certain behaviors I can demonstrate to a woman within the first interaction, whether she's married, boyfriend, single, lesbian, that she would literally walk away and say, I've never met a guy like that before, or I've never seen a man like that before?
My answer will be super short. Yes, they are. And it's up to you to find them in private. And don't be so concerned again about what the woman will think. Here's your assignment. Give yourself a period of time, maybe 10 days or 7 days at a time. Then applying what Mitchell has learned tonight, you'll continue after that. And you go, today, I'm going to blow I'm going to so impress my own self. I'm going to go after everything today. So at the end of the day, I'm going to go, man, that was fucking awesome. Okay? Imagine you're two people and one of you guys, without going delusional, one of you is going to impress the other one. You start to do that, other people are going to feel it, and women are going to feel it. Okay? So that's how that's it. But do it strong. And don't go, yeah, that's a great idea. But my question is, and don't wait for us to say, yes, there is one behavior. Here it is. Oh, thank you very much. I'm done. No. The mother of all behavior is effort. Effort comes from how bad you want it. And how bad you want it, you need to constantly remind yourself of that, gentlemen. Constantly. If anything, look at who is dead today and check out wherever they have arbitrary and people who are dead and look for people who are younger than you. Oh, fuck, man, that could be me. Okay? Who's really in a shit situation today? I have a buddy, I'm helping him out a little bit, but he's on the street, and that's a struggle, So whatever will remind you of the fact that you got to wake up. I said I would be short and I wasn't, so I apologize. I passed it to you, Rush.
Okay, so for everybody who knows me, I want you to start understanding that my entire way of getting women has changed in the last week and a half. And without a doubt, I was one of the best in the world at what I did. And without a doubt, I'm 100 times better than I ever was. And I'm going to tell you right now that you guys are going about it the wrong way. The way you're going about getting women is going to get you women, but in the process, you truly are going to lose yourself. It's a man who has. And the consequences of that may not seem obvious right now because there's a scarcity of beautiful women in your life. But when the consequences do become apparent, it's too late. And an analogy would be, if there was food in front of you that if you ate was going to give you diarrhea forever. If you ever had diarrhea, you know what that's like. Heavy diarrhea forever. But you were so fucking hungry that you thought, it doesn't matter. I need to eat right now. You wouldn't die, but you were just so hungry. You had no patience. And so you eat the food, and it tastes good. And you wake up 2 days later with the runs for the rest of your life. Then you would know what a shitty decision you made. So I have been with a lot of women. I've been with high caliber women. And as of recent times, I noticed a major flaw in my life and in my game. And I corrected it. I corrected it by sitting my girls down about a week and a half ago and telling them that they make me miserable and the door's over there, and that when I wake up tomorrow morning, I'm going to do everything in my power to make them not want to be with me every single day of my life. And I've stuck true to it. It's been about a week and a half. They're still with me. Who knows if they'll stay or not. But you're going about it wrong. Okay? And there's no way in this conversation I'm going to be able to tell you guys what the solution is. I can tell you every time you hear me lecture, I will be talking about it. Just like I have in my past, I always talk about what I know. So if you guys are coming to the event on the 19th, that's what I'll be talking about. And it's going to blow your mind. It'll blow your mind. It will blow all of my friends' minds. Take all the greatest pickup artists you've ever read about or seen. If they were in the audience on the 18th, 19th, and 20th of November, I'm going to blow their fucking brains off because I recognize a mistake we've all been making. So I'm going to tell you this for your answer to your question. The fact that you asked that question and the fact that that is actually an idea that you entertain and tolerate, and not only that, give attention and energy to, is the exact reason why you'll never be able to, in a short conversation, make a woman walk away and say, holy shit, I've never met a man like that before. There's no way from that place you can end up in this place. When I talk to a woman, she will walk away and say that. Doesn't mean she wants to fuck me, but it doesn't mean I want to fuck her either. It does mean she will know in a very short amount of time, holy shit, I was in the presence of somebody mighty right now, and I cannot shake him. And she can't, she won't. So your question, I can answer it 1,000 ways. You'll make a better impression on the woman, but that's not what you want. You want to completely dominate, subjugate, submit, so that she walks away and you occupy her thoughts, her emotions. And later you can occupy her body if you want. So you're going about it a completely wrong way, and you're going to be able to get little gimmicks here and there that's going to help you create better effects. But in the end, you're going to have a major diarrhea. And once again, I understand if you're so hungry, it doesn't sound like it's a big deal. But one day you won't be hungry, and you'll look back, as I'm turning 40 years old in January, and you look back and you'll say what I said. Never again. Never, ever, ever again is this going to happen to me. I promise on my life. And I immediately sat my women down and I told them, doors there. And starting tomorrow, they're going to have to deal with Arash Dibazar as he is, not as anything else. And we've been living, and a few times no more than a few times, several times, on several occasions, I have tried to make them quit being my girlfriend in the last maybe 10 days. And I'm going to keep doing it. Okay? And when I see you guys and I teach you with more time and in person, I'm going to teach you what this is all about. You have it wrong, everybody. You have it wrong. You have it wrong. You have it wrong. And the best you'll do is get a bunch of women like I did, get them to fall in love with you, but then on your fucking deathbed, you'll sit there and you wish you could do it all over again. I'm not going to do that shit. So I've recovered. I've been reborn, and I'm a monster more than I've ever been. So your question is answered by this. The moment that you no longer have that desire, she will know that she's standing in front of somebody who's not a regular man anymore. That's my answer.
Thank you.
Astonishing. Gentlemen, you know what to do. To meet us in person at those events. Meanwhile, thanks for joining. We'll be on next week again. Good night, everyone.
You've been listening to The Real Kings of Pickup with Vince Hollywood Kelvin and Arash motherfucking Dibazar. Brought to you by www.globalslr.com. Call live every Monday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to get your questions answered. Just dial 701-801-1220. Then enter 129-779-160, followed by the pound key. To get your free pickup starters kit, go to www.seductioncoaching.com now. And remember, stay sexy.